So what's going on, guys? I'm Black Ops Amazing. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to take a look at the rest of the audio logs that we can find in Outbreak as a part of Season 2. Just the other day I did a video covering one of them where Weaver and Samantha basically talk about Eddie and the fact that he may in fact be dead. That audio log alone deserved its own video, but there are still quite a few more that I haven't gone over yet, and since they're really interesting, that's what I want to do in this video. So this is pretty much the rest of the Maxis intel, and to be honest, the rest of the Requiem or the Omega intel isn't that interesting. The dog ether intel I can't cover right now since it's bugged. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at it. There are a total of 5 new audio logs. These are conversations that take place between Maxis and other people, and it's happening at the time she's at Requiem HQ. This is after the Firebase sea ending, where once Samantha escaped the dog ether, she was taken back to Requiem's headquarters for medical examination, and during the time of these conversations, Sam is on the hospital bed. So here's the first one.
Good evening, Agent Maxis. I am Major Carver. I hope you're recovering from your ordeal.
Major, would that make you Requiem's highest-ranking military representative?
Please, call me Mac. My friends do. Now, I'm gonna get down to brass tacks. We are fighting a war that we both know we're losing. I was hoping your experiences could shed some light on just how far the enemy has gotten ahead of us.
Which enemy? Are you talking about Omega? Or the others?
When you say others, I'm assuming you mean hostile elements from within the Dark Ether itself. Are they mobilizing? Are their forces strategizing an assault on our world? What kind of technology do they possess? Is there some kind of hierarchy we should be aware of?
Well, Mac, to answer your questions in order, yes. I'm not sure, probably, but I'd be lying if I said I understood it. The whole experience of being trapped there was confusing.
With all due respect, Agent Maxis, as a former agent of the BND, there have doubtless been times in your career, your life, where lying and misleading those around you was very much essential.
Do you think I'm lying to you, Major Carver?
No. But I am concerned about the content of some transmissions you sent while you were in the Dark Ether. Some of them seem to imply that you yourself might have caused the outbreak at Outpost 25.
I don't know how that would be possible. Do you?
In recent months, we've seen a lot of things we never thought possible. So, if any details do come back to you, I trust you will let us know.
Of course. Now, if you don't mind, I would like to get some sleep.
So in that first one, it is Carver interrogating Maxis, I guess you could say, where he wants to know what she experienced whilst being trapped in the Dark Ether. He wants to know about the creatures in there, how far ahead of them they are, what they're doing, their strategies, what kind of technology they possess. But Samantha basically says she doesn't know. The whole experience was confusing. How could she possibly understand what they're trying to do? Right at the end, Carver also says to Sam, I'm concerned about some of the transmissions you sent whilst you were in the Dark Ether. They seem to imply that you may have caused the outbreak at Firebase C. Again, obviously Samantha's not going to admit that, or perhaps she doesn't know she did it, but that's something we'll see brought up again later on. Anyway, the next conversation that Samantha has is with Dr. Strauss.
Well, isn't this nice? I thought you might appreciate hearing a familiar voice. We have a lot in common, after all.
I'm not sure that we do. We're both Germans, but I think the similarity ends there.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. Are you ashamed of your nationality for some reason?
Not ashamed. Not at all. But our nationality isn't what defines us.
True. Very true.
What do you want, Dr. Strauss?
My reputation precedes me. I'm flattered, humbled even.
Oh, I'm not sure you've ever been humbled, Strauss. In fact, I'm not even sure you're that much different from Peck.
My, such anger. You don't like him, do you? I can't say that I'm surprised. I mean, he did treat you very badly.
I don't like repeating myself, but again I have to ask, what do you want?
Requiem are very interested in the gaps in your memory regarding the events at Outpost 25. Particularly its destruction and the question of your role in it.
I was angry and confused. But that doesn't mean I could somehow unleash all the forces of the Dark Ether upon Omega.
Well, I was thinking your anger was perhaps directed more at Peck. I would understand the desire for revenge.
You really think I had the power to do that, Strauss?
I'm more concerned about the possibility of you doing it again.
Don't worry. I'm not a danger to you. Or anyone else.
What about yourself?
Don't you have other things to do, Strauss?
So in that one, Strauss just brought up the gaps in Samantha's memory, which we already know. There are certain events in the past that she can't remember happening. I'm guessing one of those massive gaps in her memory is everything to do with the old storyline that took place between World at War and Black Ops 4, because she never mentions that. But he also says he's interested in the gaps in her memory regarding the events at Firebase C, particularly its destruction and her role in it. Samantha says, I was angry and confused, but that doesn't mean I could somehow unleash all of the forces of the Dark Ether upon Omega. So you can see people are starting to become suspicious that Samantha caused the zombie outbreak at Firebase C. No one knows for sure, Samantha herself doesn't even know, but we're coming to find out that there may be a lot more to Samantha. There is a lot more that's different about her other than her purple eyes. And we learn more about them in the next audio log, which involves Dr. Gray.
Hi, Sam. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Gray. I was wondering if you felt well enough for a bit of a chat?
Sure, Liz. Why not?
I don't really like being called Liz. That was my mum's name. I prefer Elizabeth, if that's okay. Oh, wait, I just realised. Do you prefer Samantha?
Samantha, Sam, Maxis. Doesn't really matter to me. What do you want, Dr. Gray?
I just wanted to ask you some questions. Truth is, we're all a little bit surprised how well you're doing after your time in... well, you know.
You don't really know how well I'm doing, or how long I was there, do you?
That was one of the things I wanted to talk about. We do know that time moves differently there. Slower or faster, not sure. Suppose it's all relative, really.
I was there a long time. A very long time. So long I thought I'd never get out.
I'm sorry. I really am. But that's what's so unusual. Normally when people come back, they're more damaged. Physically and emotionally.
What makes you think I'm not damaged?
The only thing we've actually been able to detect is the change in your eyes. I've never seen anything like it. They're almost iridescent. Do things look different to you?
I see things differently, if that's what you mean. Sometimes the light hurts my eyes. Especially if I'm tired.
Are you tired now?
Would you mind switching the lights off on your way out?
So Gray is surprised at how well Samantha's doing, considering that she was trapped in the Dark Ether, comparing her to other people that were there. The fact that she's returned not only in one piece but in very good condition, with no noticeable changes other than the colour of her eyes. Dr. Gray is a bit surprised at this. She's questioning why the dark ether hasn't affected her as much as it did to other people. And what's interesting to learn is when Gray asks Sam if there's anything different about her eyes, does she now see things differently? Sam replies, yes, sometimes the light hurts my eyes. I don't know if she was lying at that point just to get rid of Dr. Gray, but if you look at the dark ether and also by its name, your eyes would change if you were trapped in the dark constantly. They'd adjust to that environment. So maybe Sam's vision is different. The light does hurt her eyes, and there may be other abilities that we don't know of. There is one other new radio as a part of Season 2 that I want to show you. Just take a listen to this.
Sometimes it's hard to remember how all this started. Do you feel the same? We are all soldiers. We are all fighting our wars. For our countries, for our brothers, for our sisters. When you're faced with a seemingly insurmountable threat, it's easy to forget how it all began. Or to imagine how it all ends. The dark ether threatens to consume us all. That much I'm sure of. And that's why I fight. It holds a power over us. And I think I'm afraid that it could one day consume me. I've seen it. I've felt it. I've questioned my role. Did Weaver tell you that I was the one who caused the outbreak at Outpost 25? Even if he didn't say it out loud, I think he may be right.
So it's Sam talking about her experience in the dark ether. She mentions how it threatens to consume us, how it holds power over us, and that she's afraid one day it will consume her. But she also says, I've seen it, I felt it, I've questioned my role. Did Weaver tell you I was the one who caused the outbreak at Outpost 25? If there are this many people saying it, and Samantha questioning if she did it, remember she has gaps in her memory, so she might not remember causing the outbreak. But from what I can gather, when she was locked in the dark ether by Dr. Peck, somehow she unleashed the creatures of the dark ether upon Firebase C. Does this mean that she can control them? There's definitely something more going on with Samantha. Also the fact that the dark ether didn't physically change her as much as it should have, other than her eyes. There is a link between the dark ether and Sam that we don't know. And I was just thinking, if we go back to our old storyline, Samantha, as a child, had powers. We see, for example, here in the Alpha Omega cutscene, she had the ability to take down an apothecon. This was another creature of the dark ether, and then we come to Cold War where she's all grown up, and all of a sudden, we don't see those powers. But from what we're being told, how she caused the outbreak at Firebase C, she unleashed the creatures of the dark ether, and also how the dark ether hasn't changed her how it should have. Does she still have the same powers that she had as a kid? She just doesn't know it or realise it yet. It is a forgotten gap in her memory, but things are slowly starting to come back. Not just her memory, but the powers that she holds. Samantha was infected by the dark ether. She was supposedly cleansed by Dr. Monty in Origins, but she still had powers after that in Alpha Omega or Tagdo Toten. Maybe the reason why the dark ether hasn't changed her as much is because she's been infected by it for so long. It's become a part of her. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. That is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop me a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, goodbye.